morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am the opposition whip, and my name is Elaine Kim. And as the whip, I shall refute to the government's arguments. But before I start refuting the government's main arguments, I would first like to refute to a point that the Deputy Prime Minister brought up in his speech. He said that developing countries are blocked in their effort to improve their economy because they have to save their environment instead. But we would like to say that it is actually better for them in the long term, because a lot of them depend on agriculture, but their agricultural industry shall be destroyed because a report has proven that for every 1 degree Celsius increase in temperature, there is a 10% farm produce loss. So it is bad for them in the long term. And there is also the pollution too that we have to consider that comes along with global warming, which will harm the health of the citizens of these poor countries, and therefore costing millions of dollars in healthcare. Now I would like to move on to the government team's third argument about how economy is first. Now the government whip speaker has said that the economy is the most important because people will starve and die. She, quote, living is more important than environment. This is nonsense. How can we expect the economy to be good unless the environment is thriving also? How is it good living when floods and tsunamis and extreme temperature changes are chasing us out of our homes? For the rise in temperature, it costs the world more than $1.2 trillion a year, and wiping 1.6% of the GDP, wiping it out, and causing 400,000 deaths a year. And there is also the damage to agricultural production, which causes malnutrition, poverty, and diseases. Why are we letting this happen? We must save the environment right now.
Yes. So you're just saying that you should prevent this environment, but you're not giving the solutions. Just saying that you should prevent the environment is so easy, but will this, just saying out loud, make the world go green instead?
No, we're not saying that just by saying this, it will make the world better, but by supporting environmental protection, we can come up with proposals that will save the environment later on. Now, there's another point that the government team has brought up about how technology will fix all the problems. It cannot. The economy is not a panacea to the pollution and the global warming, because we cannot depend on technology. We must escape this destructive cycle of destroying the environment and then fixing it. New technology, like they have said, brings new problems. Are we going to continue to develop new technology to fix new problems? We cannot let this go on. And also, what we are saying is that there is no option as of now. The environment has been put on the back seat for too long, and we are already facing the severe consequences. The government talks about how businesses can be lost by the deterioration of the economy, but they do not seem to realize, no thank you ma'am, that global warming brings the same or even worse problems. People lose their homes and lose their business because the temperature changes cannot support their businesses. And lives are lost from natural disasters, which strike with a harder force because the oceans have warmed and it provides more energy for the storms. So it is a time for us to answer the question that was proposed over a decade ago, and which is also the motion of today's debate: the economy or the environment. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, must be the environment and the environment solely. And therefore, this House strongly believes that global warming is more important than economic growth because, first of all, global warming is happening right now, and the aftermath is terrible.
Points of information.
Thank you.